the uncle. We have the Carbuncle, and welcome to our World Series recap episode.
Yeah.
As you could see, Los Angeles Dodgers are your 2024 World Series champions. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, and congratulations to you for picking the Dodgers in 5 games.
Yeah, if you were here for our last episode, you saw we did our predictions, and I believe all three of us last time picked the Los Angeles
No,
Dodgers.
sir.
But
No, sir. You
then
and I
you said-
did.
Oh, and
But the chef
Marty
picked the
said
Yankees.
Yankees in 7,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
You said Dodgers in 6 or 7.
That's right.
And then
You
mine
said
was
5.
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah. So
Let me say something to Yankee fans first of all. You got no reason to hang your head. They could have. Who would have thought they were going to lose both of Cole's starts? And the first one, when Boone brings in Nasty Nestor, who hasn't pitched in 6 weeks, that was a little shaky. To the best bases loaded hitter they have. Freeman's got a 350 or 360 batting average with the bases loaded in his career. And then that 5th game, goodness gracious, in the 5th inning, you gave the Dodgers 6 outs. Can't do that. Poor Aaron Judge makes his first error of the year. Poor guy. He's such a good guy. I'm sorry he made that error, but so be it. And then Cole doesn't cover first, and Volpe throws one into the dirt that I think Chisholm could have caught, but he didn't. So, in any event, it could have easily been 3-2 Yankees going back to L.A., but it wasn't. Dodgers were the better team, had a better bullpen, they had the better lineup, and the starting pitching wasn't the big edge that I thought the Yankees would have. Same thing I thought with the Mets. I thought the Mets would have had a big edge with starting pitching. But in any event, World Series is over. So now we've got, and by the way, you'll notice we have an empty chair here. Chef Marte is in the wind, as they say.
haven't seen him since the World Series ended.
Yep, and you won't. He's laying low. So if you happen to see Chef Marte, shoot us a text and let us know where he's at, because we'd love to find him.
We would.
All right, so now we got the off season. You're
Yeah.
the New York Metropolitans. You cover the Mets, I'll cover the Yankees.
New York Mets, I mean, they have 6 free agents right now from their team last year. They got Harrison Bader, Sean Manaea, obviously Pete Alonso, you got Severino. You got some core pieces from last year that are
Who do you think they're going to sign?
walking. You know, I'm hopeful that they're gonna sign Severino again. I'm hopeful, but I doubt it. You know,
Over Manaea?
Yeah, yeah. I think Severino is our guy. I mean, Manaea was great second half of the season to the playoffs, but he's a little streaky. Like, you know, you're not gonna get that Sean Manaea again. He set the ceiling very high for himself, which is
did.
great to take into a negotiation. But
Yeah.
I don't know if the Mets are gonna pay him all that money, especially. All right. Well, first off, I think we have to wait to see what happens with Juan Soto. You know, I think that'll dictate everything because he's gonna come with a hefty price tag, and that'll kind of.
I think he's going back to the Yankees.
You think so?
I do. I don't see how they can let him walk away after 1 year, especially with that package they gave up for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that would send a horrible message. Unless they don't sign him and they sign, say, Alonso and Bregman, then maybe it makes some sense. But I don't see how they let him go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my blue and orange here is bleeding a little through. I'm very hopeful the Mets get Juan Soto. I think he'll be an outstanding addition to the Mets. He'll be an outstanding addition to any team. And I also read the Red Sox pitched him a 3-hour presentation,
yeah.
which he was very impressed by. Well, look, I don't know if he said that or his agent said that or what.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not going to badmouth the team in public. He had to
Yeah.
say something at least somewhat positive. But, you know, we'll see. It should be within the next few weeks that we find out.
You can't believe anything they say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Soto's camp is going to say, yeah, it was a great meeting, just to try and perk up interest with other teams as well. I think he goes back to the Yankees. That's just my gut. I hope he does. The Yankees have holes. They got a hole at first. They got a hole at third. Bullpen. They've got some holes they need to fill. If they let Soto walk, that's another big hole
Yeah.
because he had a great year for them last year, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And then we've got Roki Sasaki
Roki Sasaki.
being posted.
I know you're very high on this young man.
I told you about him a year ago, right?
Yeah, 100 miles an hour with a wipeout splitter.
Kid's 23 years old and he's great.
And you know he could play against the major league competition. You know he's going to be able to compete. I mean, you saw him in the World Baseball Classic, and he's only gotten better since then. So, you know, you have a top 3 in that Dodgers rotation if you get him, all from Japan. You know, that's great for team chemistry. You got Ohtani, you got Yamamoto, you got Sasaki. I mean, I think that's where he's going to go.
I think that's where he's going to go. I mean, it makes the most sense. There's some talk about San Diego because of his relationship with Yu Darvish. But, I mean, why wouldn't you want to play with Shohei and Yamamoto on the World Championship team? World Championship team. So anyway, so that's what I think. I think the Mets are going to be active. I think they're going to sign Manaea. I think that's a mistake to let him go. I think if his numbers are reasonable, they'll sign the polar bear. But again, Boris is his agent, so you never know. You know, same thing with Soto. He's going to go for every dollar. And at what price, Glory? It's not a matter whether you can afford it. It's a matter whether you want $60 million a year dragging on your payroll. And it will be a drag. I mean, you can't get away from it. Unless he defers a lot of money like Ohtani did.
Staying with the Mets for a second, they offered at the beginning of free agency, Willy Adames from the Brewers. They offered him, I believe it was 6 years, $135 million to come play third base, which, you know, Adames is a great player. I would have loved to have him come play third, but he didn't want to. He wants to play shortstop, so...
He'll get his price and he'll play shortstop. He might go to the Dodgers.
He'd be a good fit there, I think.
He'd be a perfect fit there. Because they're making some noise about Mookie coming back to the infield. Honestly, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that's a bad idea.
I think that's blowing smoke, you know. I think they're going to go for outfielders or infielders. Whichever they're successful, the other place, that's where Mookie's going to play.
Staying with the Dodgers, Teoscar Hernandez.
Teo.
Another free agent. I know you love that guy.
I love him. He loves L.A. He says he's going to do everything he can to stay there. I think he'll get like 3 years, 80 mil, 90 mil, something like that.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
He's 32 years old. So, I mean, if he does want to stay the way he says he does, that would make sense.
Yeah.
And they're going with a 6-man rotation next year. So I think that'll help. And you know, and we'll see where the rest of it shakes out. Hopefully we get some of these free agents falling before Christmas. Sometimes it doesn't happen until January, but we'll see. And again, if anybody has seen Chef Marte, please let us know. We're very worried about him. If you remember, he was talking about the Yankees, the class, they got the reliever, they got 27, soon to be 28 championships.
Don't forget Yankees in 3.
Yankees in 3. Yeah. As we said then, and we say again, Chef Marte, you may know your meatballs, but you don't know baseballs. It stops at meat for you. I'm the uncle.
I'm the carbuncle.
See you next time.